with What's Linda Cooking. Today, I am making chicken pot pie. Very economical, especially when you make your own pie crust, which is really easy. And then you roast your own chicken, which is 99 cents a pound. And what I do is I roast a chicken, eat it, we serve it that one night, and then we make chicken pot pie the next night. So very economical for a great leftover meal to use up those leftovers. And for us, this will feed us for 2 nights, possibly 3 nights, because it's pretty big. So go ahead and look at this. See what you think. So I'm just going to make the filling, and I already have the chicken already cooked and some stock in there with some frozen veggies. And I'm going to make it a little bit thicker with a little bit of milk and flour. Just whisking that up in my prep bowl just to get it nice and smooth, and then I will put it into the gravy to just thicken it up, because I don't want it too watery. And I had to put it in a bigger cup because it just wasn't quite big enough. So we're going in there and just gonna heat it up, and it's gonna thicken nicely. So I'm just adding some dill. I do like dill. You can put whatever seasoning you want in your chicken pot pie, but I actually like dill, so I'm going to add that. And now I'm making the pie crust. My mother had this pie crust forever, and it's the only pie crust I ever make. And this will make a 2-crust pie. And it's 3 cups of flour, a cup of oil, half a cup of milk, and a dash of salt. That is it. Gonna mix it up. A lot of times I mix it up with a fork, and then you're always going to, because this doesn't take time to go into the refrigerator, you're going to put it in between, kind of roll it out in between either wax paper or parchment paper. And you'll see that I'm going to be using my mats. This is what I use, is the mats. I have 2 different mats, and I just kind of roll it out. It's hard to see with the mats. It's easier to see with the wax paper or the parchment paper, but I don't like to throw that stuff away, so that's why I use the mats, because I can use them over and over and over again. And you can see this dough pieces together really nicely. If you have a tear in it or what have you, you don't need to worry about it. And I always use my stoneware for pies, because I just love the way the bottom crust comes out. It comes out golden and flaky, just like the top. So I always cut that all away, and then you'll see how I just fill it and then put the top on. And what I do with the excess is just, I don't like to waste any of that pie crust. So I'm just doing the top, and the top tends to be, for me, a little bit thicker than the bottom crust. And I just use a standard rolling pin that I have. It's a Pampered Chef rolling pin that I absolutely love. So in this, I didn't dump it all in because there is a lot of juice in there, but I ended up putting the entire amount in. And that, it made a very juicy pie. But the leftovers, it kind of thickens up as the leftovers come. So that ended up being really good. So I just put the top on, and I cut the excess away. And then, very easy, I don't use a fork. My mother always used a fork around the edges, but this is a fluted one. So I just use my 2 fingers and the extra one to kind of make that fluted edge. It makes it look pretty, and then I cut my vent holes in it. Now that extra pie crust, I do not have it wasted. And I make my homemade jam, and I think this one was a mixed berry. So I always make a jam turnover to have as a dessert. And my husband, my kids, if I did not make this, they'd be like, what happened to the turnover? So I made that, and it comes out just nice and bubbly, but do not eat it, because that is until it cools down, because it's molten lava. And here it is. You will see Both of them, after they came out, it's just amazing. So what would you do with leftover chicken? I made the pot pie. Bye for now.